What's up, Internet? Kevin Parry here, stop motion animator. Welcome back to another episode of Stop Motion Live, the show where I animate stop motion live as fast as humanly possible for an hour. Last week I live streamed for the first time, and incredible experience, loved it. That's why I'm back. Want to keep doing more of these. Technically, it's challenging. Challenging to handle all the technical stuff while animating live. I have added some stuff like the intro. I think that went smoothly. First time ever doing that. But yeah, let's get into some animation. So what are we going to animate today? I want to animate my hand. It's a technique called pixelation. It's when you're animating a human or part of a human, to create stop motion. It's a technique that's been around for 100 years, popularized in kind of like the 1950s with animators like, Norman McLaren at the NFB, and then even more popularized on the internet with animators like Pez doing human skateboarding and Fresh Guacamole. So we're gonna animate my hand. It's a technique I've done in a lot of my Lego brick animation. Okay, so that's what we're gonna animate. And what is the performance going to be? So I thought it'd be cool to do something simple where I'm going to, so we got the live screen here. So just something simple like this, like kind of like a seaweed motion, just like this. So like the timing would be like 1 1000, 2 1000, 1 1000, 2 1000. So maybe like a second up and a second down, and then loop back to the start. So at 12 frames per second, that would be like 12 frames up, 12 frames down, 12 frames up. So kind of a 24 frame cycle. And we'll focus on, very smooth motion. And I thought to spice things up, I have this container of utensils here. And every frame, let's hold a different utensil. So a frame would be like this. Then the next frame, I'll swap in this tiny fork like this. So we have, this smooth motion, and then every frame will have this frantic kind of movement of these utensils swapping in and out. So I'll just kind of spice things up and, make it a little more exciting. And then I have to open my hand and kind of move between frames. So we'll show what that does. So I think that's the performance. I haven't really planned anything. So we're doing this live. I think that's good to go. Oh, let's talk about the rigging here. I'm going to rig my arm. So we could just have my arm like this, animating. But then there's the variables of like, what if my shoulder gets tired? My arm starts doing that. And then, what if my arm drifts this way? What if it drifts up and down or toward? So I have this cup here, and I actually got this from the Lego store. It's one of their pick-a-brick cups. And I can put this here, and it has this like elbow-sized hole that I found. So I use this often to animate myself. And just put my elbow in it. And then it gets rid of the variables of like getting tired or, my arm drifting around. So now all I have to worry about is the rotation of the elbows. So pretty advanced stuff using a plastic cup. And I think with that, we're pretty much ready to go. I'm going to get into my animation window here. And I have to think about, this is going to loop, right? So where do I start in the loop? I don't want to start at anywhere interesting. So the interesting parts would be like the redirects at the bottom and the top. So I think I just need to start, at this initial drag. So I'll start here, we'll animate through, and then, when we get back to the start, it might not sync up, but we can always reshoot, a couple frames to make sure things perfectly line back up. Yeah. Take a quick drink here. When you're animating yourself, you really have to like get situated, because you can't really get up and leave halfway through. You can't go take a lunch break because there's like, I don't know what my sleeve's gonna do. I don't know if I can get back in the right spot. So I need to get, the chair, my feet firmly planted on the ground. I got my keypad right here. Everything I need is in reach. And I think we can start. Okay. So I'm going to, let's start with a full fork here. Yeah, we're really just making this up as we go. Okay, software is good to go. Cool. Yeah, and so someone's asking how do I prepare the eases in the animation. And you could, go into the software and draw little lines of like everywhere you want your arm to land, but we're just gonna wing it. Sometimes you don't want to over plan and you just want to feel it out. So I kind of want to start down here. I need to prepare. So I think the very bottom is kind of like my sleeve is horizontal. So I'm just kind of recognizing, how high or low to go. So that's pretty good. Yeah. I want my hand to drag and then redirect like this. So let's start here. Yeah. That's good. And I get a lot of comments on the pixelation I do with my arm where people think it's too smooth. They think it's video that I've chopped frames from, but it's not. It's not that difficult to animate your arm. So it's always scary taking the first frame, but let's just do it. I'm gonna kind of drag the wrist. Let's see, let's take it. That's a frame, okay. We're off. And this is gonna look a little crazy, the first couple frames. Let's go a little bit slower. Let's make this nice and smooth. So I'm kind of just looking at this gap between my thumb and my index finger here. Just making sure things stay consistent. That looks pretty good. This might go quicker than an hour. We'll find out. Okay. And sometimes you want to if you want things to line up, you can, match the previous frame and then go from there. Yeah, people are asking why I have a pink background. It worked really well for the last video, and it's kind of on theme. I like purple. And I was gonna replace it today with a different background, but there's a light snowstorm in Toronto today, so I said no way. And all of my paper like this is all chopped up from previous videos, so. Okay. I'm kind of just keeping things smooth. Yeah. When you know, you know. I've actually, so talking about the background and keying, I've kind of stopped using green screen in my work. I find with stop motion, when you start using comping and green screens, people can feel that. It feels a little digital, I find. So I like things just to be real, real backgrounds. So a lot of the times I just go for it with the background. Just pick something. Yeah, these are my actual kitchen utensils. These are these are from my kitchen and my toddler's utensils. And the software is Dragon Frame, which is kind of like, Dragon Frame's the stop motion software. All the movies use it. Every professional job uses it. So I'm looking at the angle of my wrist right now. I'm keeping things pretty even right now. I don't want things slowing down a lot. Okay, let's go. Have I used the kiwi knife? The kiwi spoon? Okay. Wow, Jeff Delgado with a $20 donation. Really appreciate it, Jeff. Jeff is an incredibly talented illustrator, if you don't know. If you don't know, you should. Go check out his work. So yeah, matching the frame again. Try not to overthink it. Kind of getting like a natural rotation. We're seeing more under the hand now that I'm getting higher. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can. It takes about 5 or 6 frames to really see the performance. We're getting there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so Jim P Animation is asking about that I'm winging it, but you can use line tools in Dragonframe where you draw all these lines, you can plan arcs, you can plan increments, which I find works well for tiny spoon, which I find works well for more technical animation, but this is the more performance-based stuff. I just go for it. I don't want to math it out too much. Even physics, I just feel it out. I sense everything is technically working, I think. Y'all can hear me? Cool. Well, you wouldn't hear me ask that if you could. You couldn't. That's cool. Like, I want to make sure my hand doesn't slow down. I'm almost giving my wrist just a little kick right now. I don't even know what I've used. See, if I do like an ugly frame, it's like, bleh. You feel it. Remember, we toggle here. We don't onion skin. 8-Bit Gamer's asking, what figurines do you recommend to use? There's a few options to start. There's like stick bots. They're like, really small toys meant for stop motion. There's sticky bones, which are 3D printed figures, really well made. Those are kind of the two I'd recommend: stick bots and sticky bones. Stick bots they're the cheaper option. Yeah, this keypad is useful. It comes with Dragon, it's the Bluetooth, but you can get any wireless keypad. In my links here, I have if you go to stopmotion.kevinparry.tv, I have a link to my gear, and it goes to an Amazon shop with keypads and other recommendations. So I got to think about turning this thing around. Oh, my sleeve's drifting a bit. Yeah, Brian's asking, what are my thoughts on AI animation? It's cool. There's some cool stuff. I think eventually, what's this fuzz? I think AI animation, I think it's generally going to be used for like replacements and like generating info to like fill in gaps. I don't want my animation to be AI assisted. This is too much fun. I don't want a robot taking away my joy. Okay. Okay, I gotta start thinking about I don't want to speed up my wrist. Oh, my shirt's popping, but whatever. This is a long frame. Okay. Yeah, we're at frame 7. I got to start thinking about turning around. This might go longer than 24 frames. I thought I had a plan, but... Okay. So I'm really going to start thinking about the wrist has to slow down first. And then like that'll initiate the hand turning around. My sleeve. Yeah, so Wasteland is asking, I want to get started in stop motion. Do you have any tips? Yeah. Usually the assignment I tell people to start with is just pick an object, like a solid object, like a little box or anything like that's an object that doesn't have moving parts, and just animate it moving from like point A to point B, and do it as different things, like a snake. So have the object go, or have it scurry like a mouse, like, or like a spider where it goes, and just animate that one object in as many different ways as possible. Because that's the point of animation, is using movement to create a performance. So if you can use movement to create different characters and animals, that's the whole point. Because then you're getting to a point where you're using movement to create different human characters or personalities. That's looking good. We're starting to kick the wrists, kick the hand a bit. Yeah, and if you're just getting started in stop motion, don't don't try to animate walk cycles. Walks are so difficult, even for, you know, professionals. If you try to do a walk, then go for it if you want, but walks are difficult. If you try to animate a character walking, you might have a bad time. So I kind of want the wrist to like stop now and let the hand take over. That feels pretty good. Yeah, someone's asking if my hand is tired. A little bit. I feel like the blood has gone. I've done some shots in my Lego brick animation where I've taken a break and then come back and my hand goes from white to like red because it filled back with blood because it, you know, it drained doing this. Have we done the spoon? I don't know. Okay, so this is kind of a key frame. I think I need to like stop the wrist here. That's a little too much rotation. Yeah, let's give it some gas here. I think I need to bend. Yeah, my fingers were getting a little too elongated there. So for anyone popping in now, I am animating stop motion live. Not necessarily or typically a process that is done live in front of an audience. This is so cool because I usually do my animation, you know, I'm locked in a basement here. Not locked, but I'm alone in this basement so often. It's cool to hang out with people while doing this. That's feeling good. Yeah, one of the thing about animating a hand is like you get the frame correct and you gotta just shoot it. You can't pause and even your hand might drift around. Okay, we're at, I might go a little longer than a second each way. Okay, my wrist has come to an ease here, so it's come to a stop. So it's eased in. I think this frame needs to be like dead still. The key to organic animation is shape change. So you can see, you know, my wrist, my sleeve is staying still, and my hand is now only moving. So that's shape change. So that's going to create an organic quality. Noisy Pixels saying, we missed the yeah. So that's what I'm really feeling a frame. I go, yeah. Oh, that's feeling good. It's like my hand is growing a bit. Yeah. Capture it. Let's bring back this one. Okay, so my wrist has come to a stop. Now we kind of have to start going the other way. What's rotation there? I don't want that. I want really flat drag. Jan or Jan, probably Jan, I don't know, is asking if I always use 12 frames per second. Typically, I think it's a good frame rate for social media. People can feel like the handmade quality of it. Sometimes I sneak in 15 frames a second because it gives me just a little bit of extra, you know, 3 more frames per second to do something, you know, a little bit extra. Should I start redirecting? Yeah. See that shape change? Something that's a little too much. I want this frame to be really flat to camera. No rotation on my wrist. Someone's asking what's the rules of the stream. I don't know what that means. I'm pretty new to streaming, so I don't know what, are there typically rules? Yeah. So when I'm animating, I typically think like, what's the one interesting thing per frame? So if we go back, the interesting thing, you know, hand keeps going. The interesting thing here is, boom, the wrist starts going in that direction. But the hand keeps doing its thing. So now the wrist is going to keep going. And then the new interesting thing is that the hand's going to come to a stop. So I don't try to have too many interesting things, only like one interesting thing per frame. Even on a character, if the hips are doing something interesting, I'll just like make sure the other elements of the body just keep doing their thing. Don't get greedy. Shuttershot Studios is asking if I was the main animator on Kubo. No, not the main animator at all. But I did take care of a lot of the origami development and the big battle at the end. Okay, but no, I wasn't a lead animator on that. Got Zach King in the house. What's up, Zach? It's not that tough to interact while animating. It's kind of nice, actually. It takes my brain off of the animation. It kind of makes the animation more intuitive and yeah, just more intuitive because it's like half my brain is focusing on the chat. So, and the chat is literally right beside my animation window here, so it's not too difficult. Yeah, it's nice. Sometimes in animation, you get into your own head. I think the only struggle with, you know, chatting is that I do get a little bit focused. So yeah, it's a little challenging, but at the same time, I want to explain a lot. You know, I don't necessarily want to just answer questions the whole time. I will, but I think it's important that I explain things as well, that I provide the info. Okay, so wrist is starting to go, and we want the hand to slow down. That's good. Yeah. So I think next frame, I'm really going to start slowing down this hand. This hand's got to redirect. I don't know what utensils I've used. Okay, it's 2:30. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the time here. I want to make sure I finish this. I think in the future, it'd be cool to do more complicated performances with a hand, but for now, I didn't know what I'm capable of in an hour, so I thought I'd try this. Let's let the fork go to frame. I don't like that rotation. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, my top knuckle is now kind of redirecting, but my thumb is still going. So like next frame, the thumb is going to like freeze and redirect. The meat of my thumb is lit differently now. I don't know. Who knows? Okay. Give the wrist some gas. Knuckles redirecting. Thumb is still going. Thumb's going to redirect next frame. Yeah. You know, this frame might be weird, but you know, maybe it won't be weird next frame. You'll never know. Where's kiwi spoon? Okay. Oh, I'm coming back down now, and then my elbow is jamming into this cup a bit. Dorky Potterhead is asking, how do I plan the lighting on these videos? Really, I just try to not do anything fancy. Clarity. I just have some soft lights, no harsh shadows. That's it. Don't need to get fancy. Okay. So wrist. No, I gotta turn around here. It's time. Yeah. So now the thumb is going to redirect. Shoulder's getting a little crampy. That's cool. Let's give the wrist some gas so that you feel the kind of the reversal here. There we go. We're kind of giving it a little snap here, but I like it. When did I use this spoon last? Yeah, good enough. What does giving the wrist gas mean? I think I say give it some gas a lot. I just mean like it's gone slow, and then, you know, put like driving a car, right? Give it some gas, then whoop, take off. So now I'm thinking like total, get the wrist going, drag the hand. See, watch this. If I stick up here, feel that thumb is like, it's taking too long to start going. I gotta go for it. Like we're off now. Yeah. Ooh. That thumb is in a cool, or that spoon is in a cool place. It's a little bit. This is cool. The first stream, very nervous. This stream, I feel like things are technically really good. much more relaxed. Something feels weird about my fingers. Let's go for it. Ooh. Okay. Let's go back to this little one here. Victor Johansson just asked, do I ever use onion skin? What do we say to onion skinning? Get out of here. Get out of here, onion skin. We toggle in this house. That's probably the thing I'll explain the most every live stream. Toggling is about, using your intuition and your gut feeling. Animation isn't about what's technically correct. It's about giving it feeling. So with onion skinning, I think you get a little too reliant on what the math is or what the increments are. Unless you're animating like a machine or a robot, you don't need to just toggle. Feel it out. Understand what different increments feel like. Some of the best animators I know, their math of it was all wrong, but it felt good. Ashby is asking if I draw motion trails to like check spacing in arcs. Not really. Maybe if it's like a walk and it has to be like perfectly even every time, like, mathy stuff like that. But this, you just go for it. Okay, well, I gotta get going here. Let's drag. I don't want to go too hot on this way. Someone's asking, what lens do you use? The one I have right now is an 18 to 105 zoom lens. It honestly doesn't matter. I typically go wider. It gets a little bit more dynamic than longer lenses, so it doesn't matter. I just shot a project on a 10mm lens that was like $100. It was like off-brand, not an expensive lens at all, but it does the trick. Okay. I just realized my background sound was blasting in some headphones, which is good for me to groove to, but I don't want it to like echo. Yeah, someone's asking what's the background music? It's YouTube's audio library. It's like the music that won't get struck down, and it's their calm playlist. Some of the tracks are a little energetic for my taste, but okay, we gotta, this is, okay, we're going for it here. Coming down might be a little more speedy than up, so we might get a little an uneven loop, but who cares? There are no rules. Oh, that's a fork and a fork. Ooh, that's a little hot. Okay, yeah, let's respect the speed here. For anyone just tuning in, I'm animating stop motion live. We're doing a little hand seaweed back and forth. while the utensils in my hand are changing. Nice simple exercise. Okay. I'm not too far off. I'm on frame 20. We said 24 might be the loop. Let's go back to the start and compare where we're at. Okay, so my wrist is already below where we need to loop to, so that's not bad. Yeah, someone's asking if I'm streaming and working off the same computer. Yes. All one thing. Yeah, we're doing well. Okay. So I'm thinking I gotta start slowing down this wrist and get the hand kicking. Oh. Yeah, little shape change there. Sometimes I play and then I make a little adjustment and then just shoot it. Rather than triple checking, just go for it. Okay. Wrist, yeah, wrist has to kind of stop here. Let's toggle with the first frame. We're looking good. Yeah, I just really got to get this wrist down. Does the software ever crash? Not really. Dragon Frame's pretty stable. They update it all the time. Yeah, Java Doodles, what's up? I'm going a little aggressive on the hand coming down here, but I got to get it down there, so we can always recover. Where's our kiwi? This is looking okay. Taylor's asking if there's a good animation community in Toronto. Yeah. Although I'm not very active in it. I'm just like shut away in my basement. And I have a toddler, so lots of work, lots of life, not much community involvement. Did I go a little too hot on the... Not too bad, okay. Is my hand like way back? We might have to re-loop some frames. Okay, I got 20 minutes, yeah. I go one more frame of wrist going down. This is like, okay, this is an important part of the animations. I'm starting to focus, okay. I'm flipping with the first frame just to know where I'm at. So I gotta, get this wrist down here. I think I'm going to have to reanimate the first couple frames. Pat's asking, which days are you planning on streaming? I don't know. I don't think I can do a constant schedule just because I do work quite often, and that means literally these cameras and this computer are taken up for sometimes weeks at a time with jobs, so it's tough to book them up with streaming. Sometimes I'm in approval phases with work and I can't move my stuff. This is feeling good. Jack's asking, do you ever go back and redo frames? Not really. That's the thing about stop motion. You can't really do that. Sometimes, I mean, if it's really bad and it's bugging me, I'll cut back. cut back is a phrase, you know, when you cut back frames and then do it again. So maybe little sections here and there. I don't want that rotation there. We've got unnecessary inventions in the house. My shoulder is starting to get a little numb. Ooh, that's too spicy. Okay. This is a clutch frame right now. Okay. Starting to redirect, and I'm really throwing that hand down. Ooh, that's good. Okay. I don't like how that knuckle's freezing. Just shoot it. There we go. We're almost looped. That's 24 frames, so I've overshot that, which is okay. Team Extreme's asking, what's this remote in my right hand? That's just a number pad. This one comes with the Dragon Frame software, but you can get a number pad for anything, for any computer. Doesn't have to be fancy. Where are we at with the first frame? Yeah, arm is kind of, we're gonna have to loop. So see how my knuckle went down, even, now up. And then that's gonna happen probably next frame with the thumb. It's a little spicy down there. Okay, we're almost back to the start. I'm gonna have to reanimate a couple frames. This is typically what happens on loops. Okay. So Eve just left a nice note about their 9-year-old son Tom getting into stop motion. So tell Tom to stay inspired and keep making cool stuff. I didn't start stop motion until I was in my 20s, so if you're doing it at 9, you got a head start. Okay, I have to not panic here and just keep her going, and we'll loop back. Yeah, 8-Bit Gamer's asking about getting a discount for Dragon Frame. Maybe I should talk to them. Hook that up. Should do like an audience discount. So people are asking if my arm gets sore. Not really. It's a little tingly, but I got this cup here. That's kind of the whole point. Okay. So okay, how do we get back to the start now? So I think what we need to do is find the frame that we're going to do. So it's something like this. That's a little, we're giving it. You know what? Let's delete a frame. That last frame is just too hot. Too much there. Let's delete it and redo it. Let's keep things a bit slower. What time are we at? 15 to, okay, we're good. Just respect. Yeah, too spicy, that frame. Okay. Okay, so let's see where. I think I've introduced this gap into my pinky and my ring finger, which wasn't there before, but we'll get through it. Who cares? Okay, so this is the frame I'm at. So it's kind of like that frame. So I think if I just get the wrist a little straightened out, we can loop this here. Yep. Maybe like one more frame, and then we'll see if we can loop this thing. The speed, I'm a little worried about that the speeds won't line up, but okay, so this is our live frame here. Let's jump back. How does it compare? Ooh. How does it compare to frame 7? So the wrist is pretty good, but the arm is good. The wrist is a little draggy. With that. So now I'm kind of just blasting through more frames than I need to. And then we'll try to loop it. We'll play around with it and see what happens. So I'm thinking up. Let's get this wrist straightened out. Yvette is asking if I know Andy Bailey of Animation. I do. I worked with Andy at Leica. We chat quite often. He has a great flipbook channel and often talks about stop motion. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's do one more. We're here. Let me just double check over here. Is this music still playing? Yeah. Yep. It's quiet, but okay. Is this going to loop? I don't know. Okay. Let's play. Does this work? Kind of. So let's set loop on. Let's go to frame like, this isn't working. Okay, here we go. I don't know why I'm holding my hand here, just in case. Let's go to like frame 9. And then our recent frame here. Let's play this. It's going to loop. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's a double up. Okay. Let's get rid of one more. Let's play it. Just make sure, not live. So you can kind of select what frames you want to play back. Let's see. Ooh. So the hand is pretty smooth. You can see the cut. What's happening here? You know what? 8 minutes. Let's compare that frame to boom. Ooh, that's why. One more. It's the magic of loops. Oh. It's okay. I think we're gonna call this done. Oh. Yeah, there's a slight jitter here, but I think we can call that finished. You know, we're not here to do the, the best work of our lives. We're here to learn stuff and to hang out. So that's pretty good. Yeah, a little jittery on the sleeve. Hard to loop, but that's pretty good. That's a smooth hand movement. We got the jittery stuff. So I think this kind of fits the vision of what we set out to do. Let's try something. Let's make sure we're here. What if I reverse this? So I take out this frame that we shot and then back up this one. Let's just play around. What happens? Ooh. I think that's better. So I used one more frame from the start. That's less of a pop. The sleeve does a little like at the loop point, but you could technically just like tweak that in post-production, maybe. That's cool. Okay, I think we did it. Very, very cool. Got like 5 minutes left. So if there are any questions, anyone wants to jump in, let me know while we watch this. There's a little bit of the hand goes at the loop point. It's a little bit like flicky. If I had to, I would go in post-production and like bend the wrist a bit, but that's cool. I dig it. And that is, let's check how many frames that is. So it starts at frame 10 and ends at frame 30. Oh, it ended up being like 20 frames. So we went a little bit quicker than we set out to be, or we set out to. Yeah, okay, let me look at some questions here. Well, when you say tweak in post-production, what does that mean? So I would like, take a frame, like cut out the hand and like rotate it. Let me see. I would like, if this was the shot frame, I would like cut this out and then like bend it and then smooth that loop point. So that's what I mean by tweak in post-production. Cool. Yeah, Ashby is saying if I could do some detailed breakdowns of videos I've already filmed. So that's an interesting idea. If I took like, one of my ads or one of my professional videos and really went through it frame by frame. Aaron Fisher's asking how much planning do I do? Typically, like today I did no planning. These ones, no planning. I want you to see just like an improvised piece of animation. But typically I'll sketch out keyframes. I would shoot a blocking pass maybe where, I'll just shoot random, like I'd be like, okay, what's the height? This is the highest I can go. I'd like shoot those frames to like find the extremes. What advice would you give me for making stop motion without a rig available? So a rig would be like, oh, that's heavy, like this. If you don't have a rig, I'd typically recommend like top down or just something that doesn't need to jump in the air. Like just do something flat. Just practice anything. And top down, I mean like if you can get a camera up top looking down, then you can animate things, sliding around and practice timing and spacing that way. T Jones is asking, what are you planning to do for your next stream? I don't know. This one I just thought up yesterday, so I don't think I'm going to plan too far in advance. Maybe I'll take one more question. Java Doodles is asking, do you enjoy being a full-time content creator instead of working at a studio? I do. They both have their benefits. They're both really cool. I worked at Leica, which has 300 or something employees. So that's a big studio, big feature film studio, where there's a lot of people who are really good at a specialized thing. And you get to just do the job you're good at. Like you get to animate and you have a bunch of people supporting you. Whereas here in my studio, I have to do everything. So I'm setting up, doing the cameras, the lights. But life-wise, I should look at the camera. Life-wise, I like doing this job. I think slightly better because, I'm in my basement. I get to do whatever I want. I have a family. I can just pop upstairs and see my toddler running around. So that's a nice benefit of it. Okay, I think last question. Okay, I did get this rig from Kinetic Armatures. Great rigs. Last question. What advice? No. How important is it to you to keep up your physical health for being an animator? I'd like to say very important, but I've been bad at that the last few months. But I like 3 days ago, I was like, okay, I need to start doing something. So I just started doing some light stretching and some cardio. So trying to stay healthy. Because some people have like thrown their backs out animating like this. So with stop motion, I think more than being like, working out all the time, it's more important to be ergonomic with your work. So, here I have a good height. I'm sitting, I can animate like this. I'm not like, this. So people have done this and destroyed themselves. So I think that's the tip. Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. Really cool to hang out and talk about animation. I love talking about stop motion, and it's cool to hang out with people who love hearing about animation. So stay tuned for the next stream. I'll keep it. I'll keep you posted. You'll get all the notifications for when I go live. Let's play that again. Cool. There's a live frame in there, but okay, you get it. All right, take care, everyone. Have fun animating. I'm new to the scenes transitions, so this is going to. Let's try this. Goodbye.